Welcome to Dare a New Belief, a place to discover what is possible for your life after the loss of a loved one, and where you will find inspiration, insight, support, and love, and hopefully a bit of laughter to help you through your day. Now, here's your host, Nada Hogan.
Welcome to Dare a New Belief, where you will find light and life, love and joy, healing, faith, and hope. A place where you get to believe in what is possible for your life. And today I have the great honor to bring back Tonya Jahnke. You're just going to have to say your last name for me again, but I am not saying it right. I'm in the ballpark. Is it Jahnke? Jahnke.
Jahnke, but that's okay.
Okay, so Tonya Jahnke, I'm so sorry. And Tonya is a registered nurse of 22 years. We might as well start off laughing. And I'm right. We're in the middle of this craziness. We might as well laugh at it all. All right. She is passionate about keeping families healthy and happy together through sharing the whole food nutrition of Juice Plus. She is passionate about sharing the Tower Garden, where you can grow your own food year-round in your kitchen or on the patio with zero dirt and zero chemicals. We are covering that today. And Tonya has been happily married to Corey for almost 27 years, and they have one son who is 17 years old. His name is Christopher. Tonya is also an owner of two sweet little pups who fill her life with love and fun. Tonya, thank you so much for joining me again today. I am so grateful to be with you.
Oh, thank you, Nada. I'm so happy to be here. So thank you.
Oh, awesome. Good. Well, I'm super glad that you're here because when we ended the first part one, we were talking about you had become a health coach, and like getting into it, like 5 months into it for sure, you were realizing, oh my goodness, this just isn't the fit. This isn't what I want to be doing. And then your body started breaking down and getting sick, and you don't get sick. And so that's always the big, like that gets our attention when we're laid up in bed. So we were talking about how that happens, and you are goal oriented. It's just like, I said, I'm going to do this, and I'm just going to keep pushing through until this past year, right? Because that was just this past year in 2019 to 2020, correct? When you got sick?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that's where we left off. And then those are the questions that's where I want to go to, is how it is, because what I love about this podcast is giving people an opportunity to feel like they're not alone. There's like life. It's just, I hate to say that life is hard, because I don't believe that it's hard. I believe it's challenging. I believe it challenges us to become the very best version of ourselves. And I think we get caught in a rut of doing what everybody else is doing. And so, or I've always done it this way. I can never do it any other way. And if I set a goal, I have to accomplish that goal, even at the expense of our own health, right? And we all know that. You're a nurse. I mean, so you get to see all of the, and especially a cardiac nurse, you get to see all the craziness where people don't take care of themselves. And when you don't have your health, it's kind of a done deal. So for you to be in this position where you were able to recognize and say, you know what, this just isn't it for me. I'm not going to do the coaching anymore. I'm going to do something differently. So in that, I think you said you just completely made that decision in March. Is that correct? That you knew I'm not going to go back to coaching. So just a few months ago. Is that
right? Exactly.
Okay.
Correct.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then when you made that decision, when you knew, because I think we tinker with the idea. And then when you finally make the decision, because it's another thing that I tell people, until you make a decision, nothing's going to change. I mean, it's just, you're going to have the wind is in your face and dirt's getting kicked up in your face, and you're going to feel it from behind you and in front of you. But when you make the decision, it's like that dust settles, and now I can see my path. So since you have made the decision, I'm not going to coach anymore. First of all, I want to know, how did you start feeling physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually?
When I made the decision, I felt elated, but I just felt almost like this extreme fatigue. It's
Uh,
kind of like when you go through a very stressful situation. This happened when my dad crossed over, and that was 7.5 years ago. And it was extremely stressful situation, selling his house and doing the auction and just going through the dying process with him.
yeah.
But going through the funeral, all of the things, it was extremely stressful, but I had to keep healthy. I had to keep going and keep going. But when it was all done, funeral was done, now all we needed to do was sell his home. My body shut down, and I was just extreme fatigue. And I know that for about a week, I just rested. I just had to. I physically could not do anything. And that's kind of how I felt. Like I went through this extremely stressful situation. And then when I just decided, you know what, just take it off your plate for now. Just set it aside.
Yeah.
It's not that it's, a bad thing or anything. Just right now, set it aside and let it go. And when I did that, I felt a relief, huge weight off my shoulders.
Yeah.
But I just felt like I needed a lot of support. So I went in and had a massage. I took more time to meditate. I took myself off of social media. I wasn't on as much. I just really took time with my family. And it felt amazing. Honestly, Nada, it felt like I had my life back. And I looked back at this last year thinking, so what did I learn? So right now, that's what I'm going through right now, is because it's been about 2 months. And now I'm asking myself, so what did I learn? And where do I go going forward? And in a smart way, for my body physically, emotionally, spiritually, and my family. So that's where I'm at right now. And it feels good. It's a good place.
Yeah. Awesome. So right now you're just navigating that, and you're just asking yourself, there's not any plans. I'm just in this,
Nope.
in that I love calling it the void, and it's not bad. I think sometimes when there's nothing going on, and you sound like you're so driven, like you're very, very driven. Is that correct?
Yes, you are very right.
Sometimes it seems like, and especially for people who are driven, that to have that in the void time. And I believe when we're there, that whole nervous system settles down, that, because we're electromagnetic. I mean, that's just a fact of life. We are. That's why that beautiful heart of ours beats, because it has electricity and how the brain works. But when all of that gets to settle down and calm down, I just say, and I believe, and I've experienced, that's when all of that divine inspiration comes in. It's that thing that lands on us. We're not even searching for it. It just lands on us. And I love that you're in that place where you're just in this void and just taking care of yourself and taking really great self-care. It sounds like you are doing really great self-care activities, massages and meditating and resting and, all of that stuff that we need so we can heal.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love this part
Yeah.
now because I feel good. Like I feel vibrant.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Is there ever a time, because I, as you said that, I feel good, I feel vibrant, and you can hear that in your voice. Is there ever a time that you can hear somebody saying, well, I have to work really hard. I don't have the opportunity to make a decision, like to be in this void and let it come, let it land on me. I have to get up and work all of the time. And it's a struggle with life. Do you have anybody in your life that has that kind of a personality, or that you would bump up against, or maybe run into? Is there anybody in your life like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I have seen that, and I've actually seen that in myself. at certain times in my life. And I felt like, well, why do I have to work so hard? I don't have the time like other people do. And that is a very victimized mentality, I think. And I work full-time as a nurse, and I'm doing my side gig, which I absolutely love. Yeah. But it's up to you to find that time. I know that sounds so easy, like, oh yeah, that works for you. But honestly, you just have to, there's so many different tools that I do to keep my mind sane. Yeah. Because my mind likes to go, and my body wants to do. But I physically have to, I think it was on one of your podcasts, Nita, where there's a gal who said, when I sit down to meditate, I almost have to talk to myself like it's a dog, like a little dog, like sit, just sit. Yeah. Like you need to sit, and then that's it. And so sometimes I picture myself as my little Belle or Ella, one of my girl dogs, and just tell myself, you're sitting. This is you right now. You get to sit. And sometimes it's that you have to play almost mind games. For me, I do. But I know during this time or any time, it's sometimes difficult to find the time. But if you really know and feel like you're worth it, you will find that time. But you almost have to get to that space, like knowing that you are worth it. Absolutely. And it takes sometimes a long time. I turned 50 last year, and I'm still learning. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yes. Yeah. And congratulations. And you look, I mean, I've only seen pictures of you. I've never seen you in person, and you look beautiful. I never would have guessed that you were 50. You look very, very, young and vibrant and healthy. And it is true. And it was one of the things, I don't remember, a speaker had said this, and it hit home for me, because I was the one that would say that all the time. I don't got time to do all of this. Yeah. It must be nice to just, kind of sit back and relax and meditate and get a massage and right. And it's just this place of lack mentality and this victimhood, but all of us have exactly the same amount of time. Not one of us has more time than the other. It's a very even playing field. It's how we use our time. So I learned different ways just to take 5 minutes here or take, 3 minutes there. And all of a sudden your life starts shifting and changes in ways that because we're expecting these huge dynamite changes. And rarely do those kind of changes ever last. We're not set for it. We don't have that internal, mental set point to go from 0 to 100 or 100 to 0 and just like, boom, brand new spanking life. And it throws us into such a whirlwind. We retreat back to the life that we knew before. So these little steps that are just ginormous in the end of just doing these little 5 minutes here and 3 minutes here and finding that time and knowing I have the same amount of time as everybody else in the world. Nobody has more or less than me. We're all equal there. So yes, I love that you share that. So I am so happy for you where you're at in your life, that you're in this beautiful place of deciding, what is the next thing for me. And I think 50 is such a magical year. I'm 57. I always have to think, dang, I don't know for sure how old I am, but I'm 57. So I'm a few years ahead of you in that. But it just seems like there's something about 50 that's so magically wonderful. I hope I say the same. Well, I know I will. 60, 70, and 80, they just get better. But I know you came up in conversation when my husband and I went for a walk just a couple of days ago, and I needed lettuce. And it's like, oh man, I have to go all the way like 15 miles into the next town so I can buy some lettuce. And I said, I want this green growing tower thing that Tonya has, because I've seen pictures of it behind her and it's beautiful. So the garden tower, can